my presence out there in the ether so we can solidify this thing, me and Yahuwah. Solidify the covenant. We're gonna keep it hot. We're gonna bring you that kingdom image. Nothing but truth. I ain't got time. I'm not stuck in a time warp where all I can talk about is what the world doing. No, we multifaceted, family. We got businesses going on. We got families. We got the desire and that drive to do more. And we dedicated. What you into? I'm into a lot. I'm into a lot. I ain't gonna into specifics, but I'm into a lot, family. We got a lot going on. And it's time to do the dang thing, you did. Man, a lot of these, I don't know, a lot of people just be acting gay as hell, that's all. I don't know, some of y'all funny. I think some of y'all, I don't know, some of y'all be acting funny. Y'all be too close with outsiders. Then motherfuckers y'all around, you look at like something wrong with them, like, are you serious? I can see if they ain't no shit and they doing shit to hurt people. And then when they say something, y'all do shit like, you ain't hurt me, get your dumb ass out of here. You got to up our, as far as our understanding and how to move and how to, when you do have problems with people, you got to use them to core. You got to get some tactics. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a real soldier, a street soldier. We move in a certain vibration. We don't play them games. You'll find your ass in somebody's backyard, stretch the fuck out. Nobody playing games with y'all. We need to stop all that. Woo! Yeah, they credit max the fuck out. It's gonna be a lot of y'all sitting y'all ass down. And that's another thing. We need to pay, y'all need to pay attention to that, bro. I ain't your mama, I ain't your daddy. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you one thing. That money and these assets that you have, if they're not assets that create value, that create flow, motion, you using them, create motion, you know what I'm saying? And they're able to create, in turn, create cash flow. What are you talking about, Dewayne? Shit, you better get you a side hustle, get you a peddler's license, and sell some products. That's what I'm talking about. Get you a peddler's license and become a merchant. People gonna always have need of things, but know what they need. Know what's important to people. Go out and ask questions. Don't assume. Assume and make an ass out of you. Ask questions. You want some traction? You ain't got to get on the internet steady talking about advertise. Here you can advertise, but I get a lot of business through word of mouth with the cars, vans, and trucks, even with the designs that I make and put them on shirts and gift them. Of course, I make something off of them. That's the way to move, so shit won't get sticky. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. I'm not sitting waiting on nobody to give me the okay to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get in, you know how they know how to step to it. People know how we move. They can find you to send you some bullshit all day, some junk mail, but you don't know how to, hey, they ain't gonna send that paper, you did. They don't want to send Wayne that paper because they know Wayne going to open a facility. I was looking at some garages. I'm looking at lots that hold like 15, 20 cars, things like that. You know, where I could put gravel, probably gravel it or not so much gravel because I'm gonna have action as far as moving. If anything, I would use it for. Well, what I'm gonna use it for it would have to be flatland or black tar. And I looked at the differences. You got concrete, you got the tar, black top, then you got the gravel. I'm like either black top or concrete. But then I'm like, shit, I'll concrete that joint myself. You know what I'm saying? Pay a few guys, professionals, and I'm gonna roll with them. You ain't finna rob me. I know how to lay concrete my damn self. It's been a long time, but I'll be out there and be like, wow, okay. This one here, sure will. Let's go rent them tools and go to work. Better quit playing. You better quit playing. And I took that course, and that would come from taking a course in high school. Dunbar Vocational High School. I don't know the name of it today, but then it was Dunbar Vocational High School. That was one of the classes I took, brick masonry. That was gonna be my major, one of my high school majors. Then I wound up taking electricity. That's a teacher I'll never forget, Mr. Shirley. Mr. Shirley used to always tell us about Hitler and what he did. I used to be like, wow, we got a person whose family that really went through that right here. And he will remind you and tell you too. And people used to mess with him. And he would go chase him. They'd come to the door playing games with him. He would literally chase him. He didn't leave him, but he would literally chase him. I was like, wow, that was an experience. you know? But yeah. But he knew that electricity, I'll tell you that. And he did teach us. We got the knowledge, so that's what it's all about, family. And brick mason. That was after I left electricity, I went to brick mason. Had some experience with some tuck pointing. I do know how to lay bricks, center blocks, small bricks. I know how to lay them and hit them with the mortar. Level. That would be fun. Only thing about it is, what would I want under there? Like the concrete slab. What would you put under there? I know what I would want to put under there. Rocks, more rocks. Pound them in, get them in there real good. Pack them in there. Rocks, rocks, rocks. And lay that concrete slab on top there, nice thick slab. And then might have little inserts for certain things to come through. Or I might have some form of insulation. Well, you never know. Might run some through the ground. So I will leave that open before I pull that slab, which will be the foundation. And with that slab, I was looking at garages. I'm like, damn, they selling those steel garages, right? But I'm looking at them, which is good. Them big ass 2 and 3 car garage, 4 car garages. It's something I can afford. Get the down payment, bam. Let's do business. Pay you for the insurance to cover it. Yeah, deliver it. Put it down on that joint, and we open for business. We'll create the business from scratch. That's how you do that. Then you put it under certain, whatever business moves you decide to make to put it on to protect it. It's an asset. You can create it. You can create that asset and sell it. Once it gets to thriving, people gonna be asking about it. Oh yeah, it's already. That's what we outfitted it for. You want it? That's what it's for. Not to sell, but lease it to you. We're gonna make money off of it until the day we know more. And then when we gone, our children will be able to. If they taught us that, which a lot of us thought that way, but the means, how we went about it, that was the killer. Like, you gonna kill yourself. You working backwards, man. I'm telling you, yeah, a lot of them might think, yeah, I made it, but it's funny. It's funny, man. It's like as soon as you thought you made it, they come and take it. It's like every look at the rappers. It's like they sacrificing rappers. Like, no, let me rephrase that. It's like rappers are being sacrificed. Then you gotta look at, okay, what's connected to that? You got the company, representatives, they got insurance. They got insurance on these rappers. I guarantee you they got insurance on their product, family. They're not gonna invest in no product where they don't have insurance where they can cover their back end, family. I grew up watching mafia movies. They can tell you some shit. Oh, they need to shut him up, shut his video down. But let me tell you something. I see the same play, the same tactics, family. You know what I'm saying? Same people running the same show. Stop playing. It's in real life. But I already know they're gonna have you. They already got a lot of us brainwashed. Like we can't see through the fog of what's really going on. It's a new day, family. It's not that people are rebellious, but you are, in a sense. Think about it. Rebelling against what? You ain't. They ain't my leader. The hell, you know. Them my neighbors, and that's how you gotta carry it. That's how you gotta carry it. I know they got their thing going on, but mm-mm. I'm resting in the Most High and His finished work. This is okay. Yeah, they occupied, but their days are over. You can see it around the world. And if you don't know the Gentiles' reign is over, you better read Daniel chapter 7 and put some motion behind it and act like that you know what you know that you know. All I hear people talking about is, yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about the chosen, but I don't hear them putting the foundation of where they coming from with this knowledge. I don't hear it. And then the ones that are a lot of them that I'm hearing are operating in confusion because, first of all, Israel is an independent kingdom. That's Jeshurun. Before Jacob's name was turned to Israel, or Shem was even there. It was Noah, Shem's father, who said, "Lord bless God, bless the Lord God of Shem." You know, even when I go in the Book of Jubilees and read about it, that gives you a more full and in-depth story of timeline, the things that unfolded. You got to know Genesis chapter 9, verse 26. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." Like I heard, I'm constantly, you hear spurts where you hear people talking about, oh, the Hebrews don't know what they're talking about. The Hebrews are uh, covenanted people connected to the God of the universe. These are his servants. Isaiah, everything that I explained to you, I'm going to use scripture and then allow the scripture to speak to you. Because if I do it, then you're gonna look at it like it's something that Dewayne coming with, and I don't want to. One thing I don't want to hinder the spirit from doing what it was sent forth to do. Family. That's just that. Yet Isaiah 44 verse 1. I'm gonna read a few verses, share them with you, and break it down. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Two nations the Most High is dealing with. You got Jacob, that's southern kingdom, Jerusalem, the original 12 and their descendants. We know the original weren't there at the time, but their descendants, their natural bloodline descendants, were there. Then you had some of them that went with the northern tribes. Remember, there was a mixed multitude that came out of Egypt when the ancestors came out of there. You did, and we know that's what formed the nation of Israel. But you had Judah sitting in Jerusalem, the king sitting in Jerusalem under Judah, over Judah, ruling Israel and Jacob through Judah. But you had a split in the kingdom. I want you to think I don't understand these two nations that we're dealing with. That's how they became two. Verse 2. Thus said Yahuwah that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. You hear that? So while a lot of people are talking about what the world government is doing, you should be looking to the God of Israel and what his government is doing. It's just that simple. Fear not, O Jacob. Why? My servant, because you are his servant. He's gonna protect you no matter where you go. And then you gotta look at it. Any opposition, family, is really, but then again, just the end times, things are increasing in the spirit. Spiritual warfare is woo! It's at an all-time high. You see everything that's happening, family, but you know the foundation. You hear that baseline. You hear the shofar blowing, blowing in the kingdom of Israel, in the kingdom of heaven. The Most High has poured His Spirit out, and His people are being awakened and coming to who they are. That's why you have all this spiritual comeback going on. It's a spiritual comeback for real. Everybody flexing in what they are becoming to a degree. And I mean flexing as in coming to who you are and living. And then a lot of Jacob and Israel got that fire that they know. No, I'm gonna put my foot on this serpent head. I'm a god. These people I'm talking about are gods. Let's get to it. I ain't gonna say nothing on here that I can't prove by the word. That's why we're an exceptional people. That's why we thrive in every genre. You know what I'm saying? That's why the world is able to acquire generational wealth off the backs of our people. And at the same time, the people be so confident and misguided in their confidence that instead of shutting the others off and taking control of it and establishing it and then allowing them to invest in it. Yeah, send your investment dollars. We could do business, but it has to come into you have to come into ownership. You're a king. You come from Israel. That's a monarchy. That's the ruling kingdom forever. It doesn't change. Now that you're waking up, that's what's gonna separate you, family. That's why you don't hear me. I made a thing. You hear me talking like I was just talking about Ibrahim Traore. We talking about leaders. The Most High is grooming some of us to become leaders, to speak to rulers. We know what's going on is not right, but we steady talking about going along and trying to convince those who do wrong, trying to convince them that maybe if you should do right. No, the devil not gonna change his pattern because you think, because you know you who you are and you're connected to him and you doing right and you know that's good. He was in opposition with the Mashiach, with the Most High. So what makes you think he gonna listen to you? Which means, I say that to say, you need to come out to be Kodesh. That means to be set apart. They being judged. Come out from among them, period. For I will pour water. Okay, let's break that down. Thus said Yahuwah, that made thee, who? Jacob, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Who? Jacob and his descendants, and those who hear the word coming from the God of Zion, the Elohim of Jacob. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou, Jeshurun. Who is Jeshurun? Israel. You didn't never heard that name before, have you? A bunch of y'all probably never heard that name. And you would think to say, oh, them Hebrew Israelites making up stuff. No, the Hebrews, that's their nationality, kingdom, family. Their nationality is the kingdom of God. To serve the kingdom of God. That's it. You're his servant. The God of Israel, Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. Jacob, you his servant, and he chose Israel. And Jacob in Israel for the king. But he has to come as a king. He can't come as a little peon acting like a little religious, like you're in religion or something. You can't be, man, I got to be me. If one thing, I'm going to tell you something. I'm gonna bring this word out, but I'm going to bring it out in truth. But family, I got to be me. I can't be acting like no peon trying to deliver this word like somebody else. I'm not cooped. I'm not well cooped and verbiage. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to speak to the best. I know how to convey a message. I know how to deliver this word. You know what I'm saying? To tap in because no, I might not understand. You should see the smile on my face. I might not understand Plato or none of them. Greek philosophy, I might not understand Roman philosophy, none of that. But I understand the word of God and the Holy Spirit that's at work. I don't care if it's translated in a language. We go back to the Hebrew because if it's transliterated into that language, it can be transliterated back to the origin where it came from, and we can get to the root of it. Whether it's gonna only come in two forms: Greek or the Hebrew. That's it. Hebrew is the first language. In the beginning, why you hold on? Let me go on. I got it's so much fire in me with this word. I'm a scripture shooter, family. I use the scriptures like an AK-47 at people. I'm telling you the truth, but I have to remind myself that whatever you doing, you can use the scriptures like I hear a lot, and I get that from a rapper, from one of the brothers, Blood Daoud. He a scripture shooter. He know that law, family. And he understand how it translates into the spirit realm and how you're to operate under the king and everything. But I know he is only so far. A lot of them I listen to their lyrics, and I can tell their doctrine to a T. I'm not. I don't know everything they think. I don't proclaim to. I'm not. I'm not him. But I understand through this word, which is the law. The word of the king is law. You can't do away with the law. You have to operate in the spirit of it so you can fulfill it. That's how that works, family. We are Jacob. The Negroes are Jacob. You're the descendants of that natural branch. You are supposed to know this. So if you can't, so you can teach to others. That's why you got people acting like heathens because you're not speaking against the heathen, and not only speaking but moving in the instruction that's causing motion. And when you moving in the motion of that instruction of the word, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna tear down spiritual wickedness in high places. So that means you're gonna be tearing down a whole lot of what you see around here, and people gonna run from you. They're gonna run like roaches when the lights come on, like rats. Trust me, they're gonna run. I hate to put it paraphrasing like that, but it's the truth, family. That they're gonna run from that word. They ain't gonna want to receive that thing. But that's your power. That's your light. That's your sword. Like Thor got his hammer, I got the word because I got the Most High. Ain't nobody touching that. Let me finish this. For I will pour water, which means his spirit, upon him that is thirsty for his word, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thy offspring. You hear that? The Most High is him. He's going to pour his spirit on Jacob and his descendants. And through that word and through their obedience to keep his commandments and to follow and as they're instructed, led of the word and spirit and in truth. This is what these are the seeds that this is what you can prepare yourself to receive. And you shouldn't be fearing no man and their government. You're gonna teach them the right way. That's how you overcome them. And we're gonna pummel them. We're gonna pummel them. Pummel on them with the word. We're gonna whoop them with the word. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our power. That's how you stand as God. That's how you transcend what's going on because you're connected to eternity. This word is coming from eternity. Don't you see it? The power, that's the power that's in the plants that's in front of your house that controls the life cycle of your plants, the whole ecosystem. Plants, the beasts of the field, the cattle, the birds, the wild birds, everything. So ain't no way around it. You might as well tap in, brothers and sisters. Your brothers and sisters ain't highly anointed for nothing. We the chosen. And we woke by the power of the word. Ain't no other way to be awakened. And if you say you got this word in you and you talking about you chosen and you awakened, it better be this. Can't no man build nothing unless he build it on the foundation of the word and expect it to stand. Heaven and earth gonna pass, but that word, no. See what happened when you get the word in you? Man, you stop playing. Verse 4, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by water courses. Verse 5, one shall say that I am Yahuwah's. Who is Yahuwah? The creator of the universe. That's who, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Shem. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's forefather. You know what I'm saying? And another, let me start at verse 5. One shall say, I am Yahuwah's. And another shall, that's one group, and another shall say, shall call himself by the name of Jacob. Why? Because Jacob's people are a bloodline of servants, priests, kings, unto Yahuwah forever. You got an eternal covenant. That's why don't nothing work for you. Yeah, a few people get upped and they, you got a few of us sprinkle here and there that's done made it. But look at all the bullshit that's connected with them. Look at the entertainment industry. They losing. Look at our little rappers. They killing them. And ain't nobody, everybody I know that be connected with our rappers in the city of Chicago. I'm on the south side of Chicago. I'm Jacob, Hebrew, I scribe. And another shall call himself by the name Jacob. That's me. I ain't perfect, but I know that I'm his, and I'm a rep kingdom. And what ain't perfect, he'll make straight. He gonna whoop it out you. Because you're not gonna be running around here and filth. Talking about you got to take off the filthy garments and put your crown on, put on your robe. I always envision myself in a robe, sitting up there on high, next to, you know what I'm saying, on his right hand of his majesty. I always picture myself there and don like a king. You did. That's how he wants you to see yourself. That's what we have, and that's how you have to operate out here. If you do business, you do business in an upright manner, no matter who you deal with, because it's the law. The law don't change. I don't care what you apply it to. There's law that's going to lead and guide you in the way that you should go, fam. And another shall subscribe with this hand unto the Lord and surname himself by the name of Israel. So you have Jacob, Israel, and those who come into the fold when they hear the word of Yahuwah. The theme is Jacob and Israel throughout the whole entire book. Yes, others can come in. Yes, it's your place to be an example to them. That's how you turn your light on. That's how you, if you're in a low state and you want to come out that low state, you utilize the things of the king. And that's how people go and imagine you and accept you. Yeah, you're going to have some haters, but they're going to be far and in between. But if you stand on law, if you apply it and really live it in the spirit, family, that's how you fulfill the law in the spirit. Don't let them people tell you otherwise. You could be a talker, an eloquent speaker, but there's motion behind that. Now let me get to Isaiah chapter 9, because it's a particular, we go through these things because we keep following the wrong. Now let's go back. Isaiah 7. Because the Most High said, I know it was a dark time. When you get in the book of you go into the book before you get in Matthew, what's that? Malachi. And then you go right into Matthew. Hold on. Yeah, Malachi. There's a dark space, it seems like. But it's not. Because it was foretold in Isaiah time. And then, even before then, in Moses' time. Moses in Exodus 15, chapter 15, verse 2. He told us who the Most High spoke a word to him, and he declared his salvation. And when you go into the Hebrew to look up that word, who Yah's salvation is, guess what it's spelled? I'm gonna go to it. Yahushua, Yeshua. Exodus 15, verse 2. This gonna blow any of those Torah only cats. Man, stop. We blow that out the water. If you study to show yourself approved, and I don't mean to say we'll destroy our brother, we mean to destroy erroneous doctrines. Because we want everything with the breath of life in it, which is Yahuwah's breath. That's his. It has to come back to him. We not hindering nobody from coming into the kingdom because you ain't the judge of all judges. You got the king. He said, run them. Send them to me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make what's crooked. So don't hinder them. And I think we'll do better if we focus on the light that's shining on us and taking hold of that covenant and walk being upright ourselves. An example that we put forth is never too late. I feel energized when I talk about the word because I know I'm chosen, family. I'm chosen for such a time to do such a thing. He know who the armor bearers who's gonna carry this mantle. He put it in you, family. He spoke it in you. The confusion is we looking for it outside of us because we have a zeal for Yahuwah, but not according to knowledge. It's according to Christianity. It's according to Islam. It's according to Mormonism. It's according to Hinduism. It's according to what's the other ones? I'm a psychism or psych. Excuse me if I messed that up, but yeah, your religions. It's or Buddhism. It's according to everything. It's according to Egyptology or whatever African science is going on. No disrespect to none of y'all, but everything that you're talking about extended it. Okay, you could say this figure who y'all talking about, Jesus, was already here, and yeah, he was there from the beginning because he's the spoken word of our Creator. He's not a religious figure. He is the flesh who the Father chose to use, which I'm going to in 1 second. I'm finna show you. He was there in Genesis 1, verse 1 already. Then he's here in Exodus 15. Real talk, you got to pay attention and read slow because the Spirit will make known. It will make manifest what's not known, family. But you can't listen to men. They're going to try to discourage you, family. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Now, and if it's not right, the Most High going to send a message to you. You're going to have a dream. And just as well, you doing the same, you're going to see success and prosperity in what you're doing. Those are the signs. You don't have to ask him for a sign. You know, if you following his instruction and doing right, it's a sign already in the instruction for you to see and know. There's a marker there already that's going to guide you. Jesus told you in John chapter 14, if you keep his commandments, you believe on him and keep his commandments. Believing on him means to come into the character, the Christ-like character, mind. It's in your mind first, and it resonates. Because why? It's like Jacob had an encounter with that same in his mind, his pineal gland. That's what connects you to eternity. Man don't control that. Only you can control what's already there. The knowledge of self, the knowledge of the Most High, it's there. The knowledge of good and evil, it's there. And then we got to stop wanting to seek so much knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You be gung-ho happy for it, but ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of truth is not a good thing. Take it step by step. A little here, a little there. And it all comes together. Exodus 15, that's precept upon precept. But take your time. Like Paul was talking about eating meat and drinking milk. No, you don't want to be stuck on drinking milk. You want to get to the meat. But when you get to the meat, don't be so quick to eat it up. You want to chew it casually, so you can get all the nutrients out of it. if there's any protein in it, you wanna first prepare it, even approaching it, prepare it in that manner where you know you can extract the minerals out without, once you cook them in whatever form you choose to cook them, you don't want to cook them in a way where you smoke all the nutrients out. Cook them according to instruction, the law. You can't go wrong. Exodus 15. But you need the spirit of Yahushua to fulfill it. Don't get it twisted. Understand the words that were used. Law means Torah. So you saying I'm using the Torah. Which means I'm using the king's word. And I'm going to speak it and walk according to it to establish the foundation of heaven, to turn this earth into a colony of heaven. Because I want God's eternal, I want God to operate in this earth, in the midst of us all. We want to bring his tabernacle here. I don't want no church. Church is funny. They're not going to tell you who's who, because then that puts the onus on you to go and do the research and to prove that thing. Exodus 15, let me show you Yeshua. In the beginning, Moses even spoke about it. Exodus 15, I know his name. His name is Yahuwah, and the Messiah's name is Yeshua, Yahushua. So don't get it twisted. But I'm going to read this Bible in a way where it can reach others and they will understand. My job is to make sure they understand. Don't speak like I'm some supernova where you can't speak plain, because I don't speak that king's language. So you should be able to. I'm a man of what they say. You could probably call me a foolish person, but he will use the foolish to confound the wise every time. I always taught people. I always spoke that to people and told people that even in the midst of our trials, he's going to use you to confound them, because I know everything is to prepare you. Think about it. You a wayward child. Your daddy told you what to do, but you're being hard-headed, and then you go get in trouble. And the first thing you do, y'all know I know what I'm talking about, because the first thing you do is call on God. God, if you get me out of this, I'll never do it again. It's some places that your mama and your daddy and their money can't work. So the gangsters know. I don't care who you are. That's who you calling on. And I hear a lot of them. Some of them go the Islam way. Okay, if that's the way you want to go, then that's the way you go. I'm going to go, thus saith the Most High, according to what's written. I'm going to seek and to get understanding. I'm going to study the word till I understand what it means and how to use it. I'm not just going to speak on it like I know it, and I'm not studying to show myself approved unto God. And I can't prove the thing when I'm talking to you. You come to me and ask me what it's about, and I can't prove that thing. Family, there goes the sign right there that you're not a teacher, you're not a leader. Yes, you're a part of the kingdom, but your role don't extend to that level. You're gonna have to go back to scratch and start from scratch, you know what I'm saying, and get in tune. The Most High is building, is preparing kings. You know what I'm saying? Sons that know they king. You ain't asking nobody, can I be no king and your daddy the king? Stop playing. Use that word. In the beginning was the word. And the word was with Elohim, and the word was Elohim. What other power do you have? And it comes to you in the form of this written word, which is his instruction. Use it. If it ain't working, and everybody, he gave it to you to put into the workforce. No, he didn't. How you gonna rule and have dominion over the things of your hands and you working for somebody else? Where you gonna send the blessing to? Mr. Charlie? No. How about you, the one that's connected to the Most High, go and start a business? We building kingdom. That means we need to be building institutions like our ancestors did. We still studying from Babylon to Timbuktu. Why? Because they left evidence. We still studying the pyramids. Why? Because they left evidence. The Hebrews know how to decipher it. They know the purpose of it. We know why it was put there. Better wake up, family. Exodus 15, verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song. and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. That word salvation in the Hebrew is H344. Then it's described in the Hebrew with one, two, three, four, five pictograph symbols, which are representative of the Hebrew alphabet, which is the alphabet, Hebrew alphabet. Strong's H344 from Exodus 15, verse 2. So anybody telling you the Messiah is made up, he only came up in the New Testament, we don't operate in who he was, being the actual, the word of the Father, that the Father sent for you to know. All things was written for you to know. So why would you deny the truth? Yeshua, H344, that word salvation. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. Strong's H344. Transliteration, Yeshua. You hear that? Yeshua. You better wake up, family. Study to show yourself approved. And based on that rock, which is that word, Yeshua told you himself. On this rock, which is the word, that's what you build this house on, because it's gonna separate you from everybody else, and you're gonna shine because your light gonna shine because you're building the kingdom, the eternal kingdom, forever kingdom of the Most High Elohim of all the worlds, the universe, the Elohim of Shem. You did. That's where we at with it. That's where my journey been. That's why I haven't been going to parties. That's why people don't see me coming out to no clubs. You don't see me out there doing all the devilish things I used to do. Yeah, I suffer a lot. I know if I was making moves, I'd be up. All the way up in the world of trouble. And everybody would be at me. Let me get this, let me get that. And people showing me who they are, not really knowing people don't know what type of foundation you have. They don't see me going bust nobody clock. They see me going to put these hands to the plow because the Most High told me to. And while I'm doing that, I'm talking about him and how I'm able to give him glory, and he keeps on making sure that I am in me, keeping me conscious to make it another day, to do even greater every time. If I didn't hit the mark today, guess what? He bring me back tomorrow. You know what time it is. And don't take time for granted. Don't take time for granted, family. Because once you leave here, it's over. It's over. You can't. So you best to get that knowledge and start walking in it, so you will know. But if you're gonna believe the word before you believe men. How long I've been on here? 40 minutes. We're gonna do a whole hour. What else I want to talk about? Strictly the word. It empowers me. It forces me to have to do better. It don't force me into a debate. Oh, I'm finna go at the Christians. Oh, I'm finna go at the Muslims. No, I'm just speaking clearly and plain. Thus said the Most High, I'm not going to add to his word. I'm not going to take away. May the Most High judge between me and man. I'm going to speak his word. I'm going to let him be the judge of it. Can no man tell me what I'm saying or doing is wrong when it's written right here in the book of the law for you to know. Now, granted, most men that's probably telling you that, or women, they don't study. They not as passionate as you about being in tune with, with the king. They don't see themselves in that light. You know, you say something to them like they probably listening to me like this dude needs to shut up. He don't know what he's talking. But one thing for certain, two things for sure, you ain't never seen me running to nobody. You see me go use these hands. And it's gonna get greater because I understand what's at stake here now. And I'm learning how to move. And pretty soon I'm gonna be making moves where I'm actively doing things. And I already, you know how I move. I'm gonna move in the right manner, connect to the right things. So, and not just for me, just for the kingdom. This the wealth of the kingdom. This not Dwayne's wealth. No, you're a king. You gotta have wealth. You must have wealth. Abraham was a wealthy man. Lot, wealthy man. Our ancestors are wealthy, and we are too. And at some point, we'll know it because that's the covenant given to Jacob in Israel. You will see things like wealth. That's not a foreign concept to us. But if we stay stuck in the world, we talking about LLCs and all that. And think about it, you still ass out with an LLC. You still connected where they can come and get you. You need to be looking at things like what is that, C corps and S corp and trust. We don't need no. Hold on. C corp business license. Hmm. Different business license. They're gonna give you a list of business license, how you can file for your number, different type of business. We be on it. We've been doing the knowledge too, learning a lot about this, how to truly separate yourself from business where they won't even know it's you. In the legal matter, you just had that cushion. But think about it, with a sole proprietorship, LLC, limited liability, that means you still liable. You only covered with a limit and it's still connected to you, which they can see. Learn how to make the deal, but first learn how to establish the business. That's what the president said. Proper pronunciation. That is the proper head. Different type of business structures. That's what you want to go and check out. Different type of business structures. Now you're playing big boy games. There are several different types of business structures, including sole proprietorships, partnerships. God damn it, I did not ask you to mess with this thing. The pros and cons. No, I don't want no. Okay. Sole proprietorships, partnerships, limited liability coverage, and corporations. Think about it. You're a corporation. You under a corporation. They don't know you under no corporation. And then you insulate yourself with the right things in place to protect you. They don't need to know who the hell I am. You need to know you're dealing with a corporation. And then you can get the amenities. As you doing business and they see you consistent, you thriving, you will have readily available things that you need. I'm quite sure I'll be able to attain those things. Say I'll go 90 days strictly business. You know, my business making 500, 250 a week. Then I'm jumping to 500, get it up to a G and try to a G a week and try to bring that G to a day. But all that money is going strictly through this account that I'm going to set up under the corporation. Nothing under me, under the corporation. So when they dealing with me, they going to be dealing with a corporation. And then I'm going to insulate. Then I insulate that corporation. You're not going to see me. You know, put the necessary things in place where you can operate and do good business, and you can get what you need behind your business. But like, what did he say? What the president say? You gotta learn how to make the deal. But we don't have knowledge of all this. Some of us learning, we ain't paying attention to what you trying to learn everything, and you looking at other people. And like me, I started a sole proprietorship, but I never used it, family. I know it's still functionable, the EIN and all that. I never used it. But now I sat down to do what I'm doing now, to really learn what I have. But now I learned that that thing can't insulate me. That's cool. You need to take it and put it in what you just heard me talking about, so we can be protected. You dig what I'm saying? And we can get some motion. All the work that I do, take it through the correct channels where they can keep track, and they're gonna see a corporation doing business. You do good business. I think the things that I need to be in place will be there, and I could be able to exercise that. Which I'm finna move on that. I'm trying to become a millionaire, family. I'm trying to leave some millions, and it can happen. You can unlock the right doors to put yourself in the right offices, making the right moves to put yourself in the right place at the right time, and things are hit for you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hustler. You on the street, okay, you got 10 niggas on the block, all y'all competing to sell a bag. Y'all selling bags, you selling weight and different measurements and all that. Y'all know how it used to be. I ain't saying that's what's going on now, because I don't see no open markets like that. Hell no, you see them going to jail. You know, one minute they out there, the next minute everybody indicted, or some indicted and going to jail. Because why? It's just not the drug deal or the hustle they getting. They finding other things in the midst of, you know what I'm saying? When they come and searching, grabbing people, they finding other things that could sometimes put your ass away for a long time. I see a lot of brothers, man, where was you at, bro? Going to jail. They clean, they swole, working out, look at their dreads right. I was telling one of the little guys, I'm like, damn, where you been? I just say, man, go back in. Like, what the fuck? Parole violation. I'm like, damn, boy, I got to, I'm taking out the young gun, the young kings. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, boy, I got to go work out. Y'all on y'all shit. That motivates me. Because that's what I was on when I was locked up. But that's good business, which I do still do my calisthenics. I'm not a lazy dude. I do my calisthenics, family, so I can stay conditioned. I can stay ready. You know what I'm saying? You and stay ready to do work, not to try to hurt or harm nobody. To do work in case I gotta get out there. But with this business set up and corporations is what you want to go up under. You want to build you want your structure, business structure, to be a corporation, and you want to, as dude say, yeah, file it under the federal. That matter. You want to file a federal EIN number. Let's look that up. Hold on. Each structure has its. Let's read this. Each structure has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the best choice for a business depends on various factors, such as the number of owners, liability protection, and tax implications. Here's a more detailed look at some common business structures. Sole proprietorship. This is the simplest form where the business and the owner are considered the same entity. It's easy to set up, but the owner has personal liability. You become you carry your own liability for business debts. That's why I never used it, because I'm like, okay, I'm doing card now. with where I'm putting my hands to the plow, I can utilize the sole proprietorship because I got it in retail. I can sell products such as, when I'm working on cars. I can promote the products from any part store, but I can go and get an account, set the business up with the city, go pay all them damn fees. I hate all that. That's why I never went and did business with that. That's why I never did business with that family. I swear, I'm like, just leave it alone because if you use it, they're going to want the money. They're going to be watching and woody, woody, woo. But at the beginning, you got to put your product out there, but you got to be active. And you got to be actively pursuing. But I went in it I went at it knowing, okay, you got the heart of a hustler, baby. You've been hustling and moving products all your life. Now you can step up on the big stage, fam. You are shoe in, but you got to shift. You can't do that no more, and you can't depend on that to feed that because the foundation that I'm feeding from, that's instructing me in the way that I should go, it won't allow it. It's gonna show by the things that I do, which would be the fruit of the spirit of the seeds that I'm planting. The fruit, the harvest from the seeds of the fruits of my deeds that I have planted. If they prosper, as the Most High said, you will be successful and prosperous. If you keep and meditate on this book of the law, which means follow his instructions. Don't get law means truth. I mean Torah. No, it don't. Law Torah means light. Well, the word is the light, but I'm not gonna confuse you and sit here and speak like I know so much and give you a wrong read. No, 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 no. A corporation. This is a separate. You hear that? The first one is sole proprietorship. This is the simplest form, and I remember I took so many notes though 4 5 years ago. I started taking notes because I decided then I'm like, damn, I was in the jam for my student loan. I had finished school and I was in a jam, family. A jam that I put myself because I faltered on the loan. And then I was going through okay, get the payback. But my student loan has been removed. I didn't owe nothing but about 6 7 thousand at the most, I believe. But they wound up removing it. It's not on my credit report no more, nothing. I was like, what? Okay, that's what's happening. Let's make America great. But I do have two debts. I have a T-Mobile and a Sprint. Some phone stuff, which I will take care of. We'll take care of it. And they send me an offer. I'm like, okay, they may send you offers to do business still. But I understand. I understand. I'm not gonna hold them. I ain't gonna take it personal with them. That means step your fucking game up because you could use some phones. You know, you need connectivity. You know, that's how you renew yourself every day and put your business out to keep your things thriving. That's what you utilize that for. They ain't just for calling people. And you can get you a tablet because I do work with Cricket design spaces. I can sit there and design something, upload it, color it the way I want to color it, and create me some prints. You know what I'm saying? Some prints to sell. I was looking at the DTF. I'm gonna try DTF in the way that it was explained to me. And I got an inkjet printer. I'm gonna test it. Just because they say it don't work, I'm gonna use this method that I believe is the truth. What does it hurt to try? Maybe they just want to sell me a big ass DTF printer, which I understand logically according to the instruction of the manufacturer, the one who created DTF prints. This is the system that he used, a DTF printer. But let's say for the sake of I don't have one. And I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna not try it when I could try it using a certain method and certain type materials and it work and I wash it and it hold opposed to just sitting there like, okay, I can't use because of the need for people to fulfill these orders, to be able to fulfill orders, to provide a service to these people with these design t-shirts or hoodies, mugs. I'm gonna try that because I wanted DTF over 2.5 years ago before you see everybody talking about it now. I've been looking at DTF, but I'm like, okay, I don't have a DTF printer. I'm gonna get one. Now you heard me saying this, so that established it, and I'm gonna pop out with it. I got some DTF prints up there, but I haven't even taken the time to. I was thinking about it earlier, but I haven't taken the time to put them on what shirt. I got a particular colors that I want to use them for, that I think they will be good for more earthly colors. I don't want no way out looking colors because these are nice designs, real nice designs, and I got so many prints that I bought. I'm like, Daddy, I need to find a DTF print, a printer where I would do business. Matter of fact, I seen a sister saying she do DTF. I'm gonna send her a message and I'm gonna ask her, do you design? If I have my own prints, can I upload them like you do a gang sheets? I would do business with because I believe they're Hebrew Israelites. I would do business with them. I'm looking at their design. They got the fringes and everything, which they might be, or they might just love the nature of the kingdom, God, and and everything that's going on with the kingdom, and want to promote that way of life because it's taking fire, family. It's taking root. It's taking hold of Jacob. It's awakening us and bringing us out of that darkness and into the light. Yes, 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 yes. Now let me finish reading. I know I talk too much. I talk. Okay, then you have partnership after sole proprietorship. This involves two or more individuals who agree to share in the profits or losses of a partnership of a business. There are different types of partnerships, such as general partnerships and limited partnerships. Then you have LLC. Everybody keep talking about get an LLC, get up. From the start, I was like, nope. What's the difference in the LLC to me and sole proprietorship? That says limited liability company. So it's only it's so that means there are some liabilities you can carry. Limited. What does that mean? Let's see what that means. That word limited. Now let's see what they talking about. Just pull that thing through the phone like that. I wouldn't start on a limited liability company. Is a U.S. specific business structure that combines elements of both partnerships and corporations. It offers limited liability protection, shielding owners' personal assets from business debts and lawsuits. Limited. That's okay. It's the business. What does that word limited mean? That's the hell I don't know. Define limited. Y'all ain't saying the right stuff. Limited.
Restricted in size, amount, or extent. Few, small, or short.
A limited number of places of a monarchy or government exercised under limitations of power prescribed by our Constitution. Of a person not great in ability or talents, I think he is a very limited man. So we understand that there is a gray area where they can come in and get at you by you being connected to the business through an LLC. I'm not trying to file no LLC. What are other ones? Okay, now we have corporation. We got S Corp and B Corporation, nonprofit organization, joint venture, and cooperative. Dig that. Corporation. This is a separate legal entity from its owners, offering liability protection. Nothing about limited liability, only a limited amount of liability they can protect you from. In an LLC, no, a corporation. This is, and I remember reading this when I was filling out the paperwork after I filed for the EIN. I said, what do I want? But I know I can always go back and put it in another corporation, up under another corporation, and protect it. This is a separate legal entity from its owners, offering a lot of protection, but it all more complex to set up and manage. Corporations are often used for larger businesses that plan to raise capital through stock sales. That's cool. Shit, we'll sell some stock in the hood, find out how to set it up. Look, we're gonna go out, we're going we're gonna sell stock uh percentages to a certain amount to people to help get the business up and running. You're gonna need business partners. It's just setting it up with a particular type structure. Set up and manage. Corporations are often used for law. Okay, S corporation that is taxed like a partnership or LLC, allowing for pass-through taxation and avoiding double taxation. B corporation, a for-profit corporation that meet specific social and environmental performance standards. Hmm. Okay. A C corp or B corp. Hmm. A corporation. Yes. And you want to file it under federal. Should I file my EIN under and business under federal? Oof, I said the wrong thing. Yes, you should file for an employer identification number with the IRS under the federal government if your business need one. No. Should I file my can I file my EIN under feds? Hmm. Hold on, what am I? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Can I file my business with the federal government? Yes, you can file your business with the federal government, and it's often a requirement for various aspects of operating the business, including obtaining a federal tax ID number. There you go. Registering for contracts or pursuing tax exempt status. Holy smack, registering for contracts? What do you specialize in? They got a contract for everything. Or pursuing tax exempt status. You can register your business on the System for Award Management, SAM. Here's a more detailed look. Registration for federal contracting. To participate in federal government contracting, you must register your business on SAM. SAM is a database where the government agencies search for contractors. You dig that? Automotive technician. Become a contractor. You can send them, hey, hire you some employees, get you a building, an office, parking lot where you operate, you doing business out of there. You want to have insurance, you want to have it set up properly under the right corporation. You can self-certify as a small business on SAM. Oh, you hear this? SAM is a database where government agencies search for contractors. You can self-certify as a small business on SAM. What does that mean? I'm not even certified as a small business. You are able to self-certify as a small disadvantaged business when you register on SAM. If you are a small business, you may self-certify on the Small Business Administration website and then register to do business. Dig that. Hmm. Registering on SAM also allows you to certify your business eligibility for specific programs like the Small Business Association contracting programs for disadvantaged, women owned, veteran owned, or hub zone businesses. Two, obtaining a federal tax ID. Most businesses need to obtain a federal tax ID, which is a unique 9-digit number used for tax purposes. That's why I never used it because if you're not fully aware, if you're not in control, if you don't really know where you want to go and how to go about doing it, wait. What you in a rush for? That's your number forever. Get the knowledge and know how to move right. Know yourself. And yes, if you need to seek help, seek help. Everybody can't sit down and read and learn this stuff and have the heart, and everybody don't have the heart to jump out there and try. I am. I am. Obtain the federal tax ID. Most businesses need to obtain a federal tax ID, which is a unique 9-digit number used for tax purposes. The IRS provides a free service for applying for EIN, employee identification number. Dig that. Other potential registrations. Trademarks. If you want to protect your business name, brand, or product, you'll need to register with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Gee, that's gangster. Tax exempt status. How do you get that? Remember I was telling y'all Robert Kiyosaki talking about that? Tax exempt. If your business is a nonprofit, you need to register as a tax exempt entity with the IRS. S Corp. To create an S corporation, you need to file Form 2553 with the IRS. Corporate Transparency Act. Under the Corporate Transparency Act, many businesses are required to file beneficial ownership information reports. Dig that. Y'all want to know everything. Important points. Well, it is the feds, and you get some of them contracts. Imagine all of them. Imagine if they pushing that opportunity your way, really pushing. You can go places, family. Important points. Registration with federal government is often a requirement for obtaining a federal tax ID. Federal tax ID, not state. Federal. Trademark protection or tax exempt status. The specific requirements depend on the nature of your business. The GSA website provides guidance on registering your business to do business with the federal government. That's what I'm going with, family, if necessary. I've been looking that way and seeing, okay, I've been on here a long time, it's time to go. The Curse of Ham and Bible Dingers debate about blacks. Oh yeah, that's some people talking about they need to watch y'all. They don't know if y'all capable of being good Christians, doing what you're told to do. I'm like, what? These dudes, these religious people are crazy. To each his own. If that's what you choose to follow, then that's your problem. I don't have to deal with none of that. I'm not fighting none of that. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. They can say what the hell they want to say. I ain't never scared, but I figure if you follow the right instruction, you don't deal with those people, you won't have that problem. Seek the Most High. The truth about the Hebrew Israelites, part one. What is the age? Yeah, because our people be tripping. We be doing a whole lot of what? And I don't know. Like I said, some of us are confused. And then we follow these groups and people and wonder why we don't see a move of God. Check this out. Peace and blessings. Hold on. I'm gonna give a reactionary. I'm gonna give a reaction on this video. I want to hear this. So I'll see y'all in a few minutes. I'm making another video. I'm gonna keep churning them out. Keep pushing the word. Be encouraged, family. We got it now, and that's how we're gonna go forward. Peace and blessings to whoever that is on here. I'm gonna make another video. I want to see this. This truth unedited. The truth about the Hebrew Israelites, part one. I just spoke about that. Yeah, we Hebrew Israelites, but that don't mean everybody's uh fit to or appointed to be a ruler, a lawgiver, a Levite. That's crazy. U.S. ports collapsing. Breaking U.S. ports collapsing. 10,000 containers stuck as truckers. Man, look. 50 billion in crude oil found today. Where? Russia discovers 50 billion barrels of oil in Burkina Faso. Wow. That was 3 weeks ago. I think I did see that breaking. FUCK America. What? Toyota, Honda, and Nissan just pulled the plug. U.S. auto industry pending collapse. 9 days ago. What they talking about? Some FUCK? We cannot. What? I just told somebody, especially with that Pathfinder. Well, I ain't telling nobody. Them Nissan and Hondas and Toyotas, a lot of that stuff, you're going to have to get from Asia. You're going to have a damn problem. Y'all going to have problems with them cars and trucks. And the problem in the sense of taxing your pocket. Then you better hope it's not, one of them nations where they say, you know what? We just cut off you. We ain't doing no shipping to USA. Like Trump freaks out as China and Canada's shocking oil pact leaves US in the dust. Wow. What? I did see someone say Traore. Pope Leo responds to Captain Ibrahim Traore. A message of truth, justice, and I thought so. I heard seen somewhere he wrote the Pope. Old employers can retire, forced to work minimum wage. Wow. Old employees can't retire, forced to work minimum wage. Ooh-wee. See what just happened in the U.S. shocked the world. God sent terrible tragedy. What? See, man, look. Millions losing everything. Millions tricked into making poor financial decisions. All things will be revealed. All right, y'all. Y'all be encouraged. That's why I promote. Keep the instruction of Microsoft lays out 6,000 workers after tariffs and bad economy in 2025. There's got to be some correction. And it's going to have to be some correction in our thinking and our approach. Got to put your hands to the plow, family. And you can't be scared. You ain't got to know everything. You just got to know what moves to make the right moves to get you going. And hire some people that can help to advise you. Sit down and come up with a plan, a business plan, and put it in motion. You're going to have to. You ain't going to be able to depend on these people, man. These systems and their corporations. And many nations ain't doing business with us. So that means cutting off doing business and even using the dollar debt. which enriches a lot of people who's invested in these certain measures. Well, you about to lose. And it ain't Microsoft that's losing a lot. It's more than Microsoft. It ain't just Microsoft. It's a lot of people being this summer. We're gonna see. You see it out there marching. I don't think people Houthi strike Israel 3 times in 24 hours as Trump sits out. Wow. I ain't surprised. America don't need to be carrying that load. They can't afford what the hell going on over here now. That's what I was just saying in my last video. Now let me go on back to this. I want to see what's his name? Truth Unedited. Y'all check him out. Shalom, peace, and blessings. Let your light shine. We good, fam. And everything he created was good. That's the word. And the word became flesh and dwelt among us. Let this word, which is in the Messiah, be in you and uplift you against all odds. Shalom, kings and queens. To all God's children, shalom. All y'all. Don't play no games